Hello, I'm still here at my friend's farmhouse in Cambridgeshire. It's a pretty gloomy wet day today, but I took this photo the other night on a stroll round the farm.
It was such a gorgeous evening, and this is a beautiful spot of Cambridgeshire. I love walking down the back lane, and Blitz the farm dog will always accompany me. Anyway, I snapped the photo from here.
And I thought I'd have a go at painting it today. I'm using this Paul Rubens cold pressed watercolour sketchbook, which I introduced in my last video. I've got my Travel Watercolour Palette, and then I've got my Art Travel kit, which has got quite a few Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils in, and some Caran d'Ache Neocolor IIs, and then a variety of other things like the white Posca, some Tempera paint sticks. I just want this to be quite a speedy, loose painting, but we'll see if I manage that or not. I'll start off with a few very quick pencil outlines just to give me the rough areas.
I'm starting off then with the Escoda Ultimo size 10 brush, and this is Winsor & Newton's Cerulean Blue red shade. I'll keep the painting part in real time, and I'll just edit out when I'm washing my brush and changing colours, or really minor additions. You can probably hear the roughness of the paper, and I'm finding that I can't paint in my usual style. I'm having to add quite a lot more water. It's not a criticism of the paper, it's just that I'm not as used to it. I'm leaving some white areas for cloud, and also where the sunset kind of orangey colour is going to go. And I do remove a bit more of the sky paint to make more cloud areas with a cloth. I'm a bit nervous of painting a sunset really. I think I've only done it once or twice before. I suppose my main concern is that I don't want the orange to mix with the blue, and so that I end up with a kind of greenish looking tinge to the sky. So I'm careful not to overlap too much of the orange and blue. While the paint's still wet, I'm just dotting in a bit more of the orange to make it a bit more intense. I should probably mention, especially for those who haven't seen many of my other videos, that I've never taken any watercolour classes or anything, so this is just how I've kind of enjoy using them. I'm not saying that this is how you should do watercolours. I really enjoy just splodging watercolour down, and I'm not the kind of patient building up lots of layers type person. I really like the feel of the paint on dry paper, and if it's important that the paints don't mix into each other, I'll just leave white areas in between my separate colours. Though often the paints merge into each other a bit, and I'm not too worried about that. I'm keeping a record of the paint colours I use down the left hand side, and I'll fill the names in for these later. With this painting, I'm also a bit nervous about doing the sky, because I don't usually paint darker clouds into them. And at this point of the painting, I was thinking, oh dear, what have I done? This is possibly not going to turn out very well. The dark clouds look a right splodgy mess. I suppose that because I know I'm happy to use mixed media, I can always put more opaque layers on top if things go really badly. So I'll always keep going. I really am quite enjoying this paper. This particular sketchbook from Paul Rubens does have perforations so that you can tear out the pages, and that's a feature that I'm less fond of. Now I'm going in with more orange to try and build up the intensity of the sunset. This orange is made with a mixture of Daniel Smith's Pyrrol Scarlet and Daniel Smith's Nickel Azo Yellow.
So I let that dry, and one thing I'll say about this Paul Rubens paper, I've used quite a few different 100% cotton papers like this is, and I don't think any of them have brought out the granulation of the paint as well as this paper. So the light blue is the Winsor & Newton Cerulean Blue red shade, which granulates. And then the darker cloud colour I made with a mixture of Daniel Smith French Ultramarine and Daniel Smith Transparent Red Oxide. So it will granulate. And then again, this Daniel Smith's Undersea Green, it's really brought out the granulation of that. So I do quite like this paper, I have to say. So I'll carry on with some more paint layers now.
I want to bring out some more of the sunset colour in the clouds, so I'm dotting a lighter orange and I'm sticking to the white parts so that, again, I don't get some weird green thing going on. Then in the bottom right hand I've got a lot of really dark foliage, so I'm starting to add in some more kind of spiky foliage shapes. The trees at the edge of the field look really black in the photo against the sky, and so I'm using Deep Deep Light's Forest Green, which is a really dark green. I've switched my brush as well now. This is a Silver Black Velvet size 6 travel brush, and it's got a really, really good fine tip. I'm just kind of dotting on the outline of the trees. For some of the foreground foliage, I decided to take advantage of the roughness of the paper and do something which I don't usually do, which is to get paint on quite a dry brush and just kind of scour the paint across the top of the surface of the paper, and it gives this rougher look. Just getting a bit more depth in my sky here. And adding greater contrast to this bottom right hand corner. Again, I'm using the tip of the brush to kind of dot on leaves and give the impression of the delicateness of the tree. I'm adding in more detailed grass areas now, and as I get further into the field, I use a lighter and lighter green. I'm making sure now that there's as much contrast in my painting as there is in the photo. So I'm adding some greater depth to some parts of the clouds using a Gallows Notturno. In the bottom right hand corner of my photo, there's real depth to the shadows, and so I'm going in again to try and add more of that. I then add some Daniel Smith Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet to the field, and this isn't really something that I can see in the photo, but I just feel like I just want a bit more colour interest. I leave it there with the watercolours, and once they've dried, I come in with some coloured pencil. I use Holbein Artist's soft white pencil to soften some of the edges of the cloud, and then I'm using darker colours to build up more details like grass and branches. I also use a black pencil to create even more shadow and depth to this tree on the right. Then finally, I use a peach, a white and a light blue tempera paint stick for a few opaque details.
So this is my messy workspace now at the old desk. Here are the watercolours which I used. And then my finished painting. I'm not thrilled with it. I'm much more comfortable with beaches and rocks and sea, but it's a good exercise to do things I'm not so used to. I'm not as familiar with this paper either. It's a lot rougher than I'm used to, but I do love how it makes the paints granulate. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Bye.